Hello everyone, and welcome to the Solo Gamers Club. Thanks for joining me. My name is Keith, and tonight we're going to continue with episode 2 of our playthrough of A Touch of Evil, the Supernatural game, and we're playing against the dreaded Scarecrow. Now, before we continue, I have a correction from episode 1. If the viewers will remember, we had Captain Hawkins played the card I Say, the event card I Say. Well, the card clearly says that you can take an event card from the discard pile that is not marked Play Immediately. Well, what did Keith do? He played and selected a Play Immediately card, so we can't do that. So I'm going to undo that. Captain Hawkins ended up gaining 5 investigation. So we're going to return the 5 investigation, and we're going to select a different card from the discard pile that doesn't say Play Immediately. And he's going to choose the recovery card, and that allows you to heal wounds, D6 wounds, from a hero. So that was the only correction that I had. I think I had a small correction. I won't be able to take care of that. It involved lingering with Inspector Cook. I think I missed one lingering roll, but we're going to forget about that. We'll continue our playthrough. All right, Inspector Cook is up next. What we're going to be trying to do now is to secure some extra, I think, weapons to prepare for our coming showdown against the Scarecrow. The longer we wait, the stronger he's going to get. So I'm going to work towards getting some items, weapons in particular, for the characters, and then we'll work on getting a lair card. Inspector Cook is currently at the Icy Waters. Now he has his upgrade, which gives him a +2 to movement. And he'll be rolling for movement right now. And we'll get out our dice tower and see what he gets for movement. Okay, he's rolled a 4, so that'll be modified to a 6 with his upgrade. He's got 6 movement points. And I think he's going to head to the town square. That would be a good place for him to be, except that he doesn't have any investigation tokens. So we might want to try to get those first before we won't be able to purchase anything. So he's got 6 movement points, and I think I'll have him do this. He'll move 2 points going into the docks, 3, 4, and 5. He'll go to the stone bridge. And once there, he will collect the investigation, and then he's going to have to encounter the stone bridge, and we're going to have to roll a d6, and on a 1 through a 3 or better, we can draw another event. We have a nice stack of event cards right now that we were able to have. These will come in very handy for us during the coming showdown. All right, so Inspector Cook will make his roll at the stone bridge and see if we can get another event card. He's rolled a 5, and he'll be able to draw another event, and we're building up a nice collection of those events. This one that he has drawn is Clandestine Meeting, Play Immediately. Choose a town elder and place their marker on the board in any empty space. The next time the heroes end their move at the space with the elder, remove him from the board, and the hero gains D6 investigation. If a 1 is rolled for the amount of investigation, add a secret to that elder. If a 6 is rolled, add a resolve. All right, so that's pretty good. Well, it's a Play Immediately card, so I think we'll have to play it. And I think I'm going to select Lord Hanbrook, and we can place him, we're instructed to place him on any empty space. Well, I'm going to place him right here. And then the next turn we can move to that space and resolve the card. So I'll place this card on a stand as a reminder for our next turn. Next up is going to be Captain Hawkins, and he's currently at the magistrate's office in Shadowbrook. All right, Captain Hawkins will make a roll for movement, and we'll see how many movement points he has. He's rolled a 2. All right, so he's got 2 movement points. I think rather than move normally, he's going to use his old map. And his old map says instead of moving normally, discard the old map to move to any space on the board. Okay, so that's what he's going to do. We will discard that town item, and he's going to move to the inn. There's some investigation there. So he moves to the inn, and he's going to claim the 3 investigation there. All right, that moves him up to 7 investigation. Now he's going to encounter the space, and its special ability is he can gain 2 investigation before an encounter. So we'll take those 2, and that's going to move him up to a total of 9 investigation. I'm trying to get him his upgrade if we can. All right, now we're going to encounter the inn. And he draws another Gremlins card. Minion Imp. 2 fight dice, 2 wounds. You may not escape. Gremlins can only be hit on a roll of 6 instead of the normal 5 or 6. If defeated, gain 4 investigation. All right. Well, Captain Hawkins has a combat level of 3. So he'll be rolling 3 dice for his test, and the Gremlins will be rolling 2. All right, this is the first round, and here's the roll. All right, Captain Hawkins has done no hits. He needs to get 6s in order to hit them, but the Gremlins have rolled a hit on him. So let's see what we can do to try to mitigate that. And I think Captain Hawkins will play the event Just a Scratch. Prevent 1 wound from a hero, town elder, evil elder, or villain about to take a wound. And it says, I've had worse. So we'll use that to stop the wound from the Gremlins, and we'll move on to round 2. So we'll do another roll here, round 2. Whoops. And the Gremlins, once again, have done a wound to Captain Hawkins, and he has no hits. Let's see what we can do about that. Well, he's going to use his torch. It says once per fight round, you can force your enemy to re-roll one of their fight dice. And then after the use, we're going to roll a d6 on a 1 or 2. We will have to discard the torch. So let's have him re-roll that hit that he has. See if we can turn that into a miss. And he did. It's a 4. So he has no hits against him, but he's going to have to roll for the durability of the torch. Here's the roll. And he rolled a 3, so we're good. We still have the torch, and we'll continue on with round 3 of the fight. Okay, so we'll start round 3, and hopefully Captain Hawkins can get some 6s here. Here's the roll. And he has no hits, and neither does the Gremlin. I think he's going to try playing this event aggressive combat. Give a hero, minion, or villain +2 combat for 1 fight round. So we'll use that. That'll allow him to roll 2 extra dice. Maybe we can get a hit on these things. All right. So we'll get 2 new dice out, see if we can get some 6s. And he didn't, so nothing there. We'll move on to another fight round. 3 versus 2. Okay, here we go. And he has no hits. The Gremlins have a hit against him. So I think he's going to use his torch once again. And we'll have him force a reroll of that hit by the Gremlins. So we'll force them to reroll that 6. And it's a miss. So they have no hits against him. We'll have to roll for the torch, a 1 or 2, and it's gone. It's a 3. So we'll keep the torch, and we'll move on to another fight round. And I think he's going to use another event, and he's going to use Tactical Strike. Play on any hero, including yourself, to allow them to add their cunning to their combat for 1 fight round. All right, so Captain Hawkins has a cunning of 3, and that will allow him to roll 6 dice for this fight round. So we'll get out 6 blue dice. And maybe this will help him to get the hit that he needs. Okay, here's our next fight round with the Spirited Attack. He still has no hits, and the Gremlins have no hits. We can't escape because of the ability of the Gremlins. So, let's see what we can do. All right, we will begin another fight round, and we're back to our normal dice supply. This is a tough one. 6s are hard to come by. All right, so we'll see what he comes up with here. And he has no hits, and the gremlins are going to do a hit to him. Well, I think he'll use his torch again and force them to re-roll that hit. It's a miss, so now we'll have to roll for the torch. Results a 3, so he keeps the torch, and we still have no hits on Captain Hawkins. All right, we'll start another round. This is a long fight. All right, Captain Hawkins has done it. He's got 2 6s. That's enough to kill the gremlins, but they have done a hit against him as well. Once again, he's going to employ the torch, and he will force them to re-roll the hit that they do have. And it's a 2, it's a miss. So he has managed to use his torch very effectively, stopping the gremlins from approaching him. We'll have to roll for the torch now, a 1 or 2, and it's gone. It's a 6, so he keeps the torch, and we've defeated the gremlins, and we're going to earn 4 investigation. It was a long, hard-fought battle for Captain Hawkins. I think Captain Hawkins is going to purchase his upgrade. He's going to spend 10 investigation, leaving him with 3. And he'll gain his upgrade, Battlefield Command, gives him an extra health box. And he can roll an additional 2 fight dice while in a space with a militia. So that's pretty thematic for him, and it will be helpful. So we will do that. And I think that's going to bring his turn to a close. All right, Heinrich Cartwright is up next. He's at the blacksmith shop. He has 1 investigation. All right, he's rolled a 6 for movement. I'm going to have him move up to the windmill, and we'll see if we can find something good there. 1, 2, 3. He's at the windmill, and we will encounter the space. And he draws the card Voodoo Doll. Investigation Magic. Hanging from a wooden support, you find a small voodoo doll in your likeness. It hangs suspended over a boiling vat of red liquid. What dark magic is this? Make a combined Cunning and Spirit 5+ test and gain 1 investigation for every 5+ rolled. Okay. Well, his combined Cunning and Spirit is 7, so he'll roll 7 dice for this test. And here's the roll. Well, he has 1 success, so that'll earn him 1 investigation. Not great. Okay, that'll bring his turn to a close. We'll move on to Brother Marcus at the magistrate's office. Okay, Brother Marcus has a total of 8 investigation. He's already purchased his upgrade, and he's rolled a 6 for movement. I think I'll have him take a look at what's happening at the abandoned keep. Currently he has an axe from the old woods, so we'll have him move to the abandoned keep. We're going to have to cross this space with the crows though, so 1, 2, 3, 4 will be the movement, but we'll have to resolve a possible interaction with the crows. On a roll of 1, he's going to lose an item or an investigation. He's rolled a 6, so we're good with the crows. And now he's going to, I think, purchase a lair card. He's got enough investigation to do so. We're currently in stage 3, so we can purchase lair cards for 3 investigation. So he'll pay the 3 investigation, and we'll draw a lair card. And this is the potential location of the Scarecrow. And this is at the bog. It costs 2. And with the Scarecrow's special ability, well hidden, we have to pay double this in order to enact the showdown. It says if the villain is the bog fiend, it rolls its fight dice and resolves any hits before you get to fight back during the first showdown fight round. So that won't apply. We'll keep this, and that bog would be a potential pretty decent spot to have the showdown. All right. So now Brother Marcus is going to encounter the abandoned keep. And he draws the card Attacked. Roll once on the villain's minion chart to work out the result. Okay, so we'll get out his minion chart. I'll bring that up on the screen, and we'll make a d6 roll and see what we get. Now this can be an event. It does not have to be a minion. It says work out the result. Okay, here's the roll. The result is a 3. And that is a locust swarm. All right. Has 2 fight dice, 3 health, reward of 4, and it has the swarm ability. Heroes must use their cunning instead of combat during the fight. All right. All right, so Brother Marcus is going to have to use his cunning against this locust swarm. His cunning is currently at 2. He has a 1 for his base, and he's improved it by 1, so he gets 2. The locust swarm will be attacking with 3 fight dice. Now, although Brother Marcus has the ability Faithful may use spirit instead of combat in a fight, that gets overruled if there's special conditions from the minion chart. In the case of the locust swarm, it says heroes must use their cunning, so that overrules that. Okay, so we've got 3 red dice and 2 blue for Brother Marcus. Here is the first round. All right, they've done 3 hits to Brother Marcus. That's not good. And he's done none to them. All right, well, let's see if we can mitigate that a little bit. All right, Brother Marcus is going to play this card, Ritual of Protection. Play during a fight round to make a Spirit or Cunning 4+ test. For every 4+ rolled, gain 2 investigation and prevent up to 1 wound to any town elder or hero, including yourself. So we'll use that. And he's going to use his Spirit for the test. His Spirit currently is at a total of 5. So we'll give him 5 dice to roll. And on 4 pluses, he'll gain investigation and stop the wounds. Okay, he's got a total of 4 successes there. So that'll stop all of these wounds from the locust swarm, and he's going to gain a total of 8 investigation. So that moves him up to 13 investigation, and I think the smart play is for Brother Marcus to escape, and we'll have him flee to the road space to the east. Now there's crows there, so we're going to have to, when we move into space, he'll have to see if he's affected by these pesky crows. Rolls a 1 and he is. Well, he's going to lose an investigation to the crows. That moves Brother Marcus down to 12 investigation, and we're going to end his turn there. When you escape, your turn is over. All right, that's going to complete the actions for the heroes. We'll move on to the mystery phase. And let's see what cards are going to take place before the mystery phase starts. Brother Marcus is going to use his Hold Back the Darkness ability. At the start of each mystery phase, gain D3 investigation. All right, so we'll get a D3 out and see how much he can gain from that. He's rolled a 1, so he'll gain an additional investigation, moving him up to 13. All right, we'll move on to the cooperative mystery phase chart roll. We're going to roll a D100 and check our chart. Result is 36. 36 reads March of Darkness. Every minion on the board immediately moves 2 spaces along the path to the town hall or town square if on the coast board. If there are no minions on the board, instead roll on the villain's minion chart, re-rolling events, and place minions at 2 random locations. Well, we have plenty of minions on the board. All right, we'll start out with these crows on the Echo Lake board. They're going to move 2 spaces towards the town hall. All right, now we've got crows at the Shadowbrook board. They're going to move 2 spaces as well. And unfortunately, the locust swarm is going to move into Brother Marcus's space, and we'll have no choice but to resolve another combat. Okay, we'll have to resolve this out of sequence, and the locust will be rolling 3 combat dice, and Brother Marcus will have to use his cunning. He gets 2. Here's the roll. Okay, no hits were exacted by either side, and I think Brother Marcus is going to escape, and he'll move to the space with the crows. We'll have to make a roll for the pesky crows once again, but it doesn't make sense for him to be trying to defeat that locust swarm. He's not very skilled at cunning. Okay, here's the crows roll. It's a 1, so he'll lose another investigation to the crows in that regard, and then we'll move on now to the mystery card draw. All right, Inspector Cook draws the mystery card, Tide of Darkness. And it just so happens to have the portrait of the Scarecrow on there. It says, a wave of the villain's minions attacks. Roll once on the villain's minion chart, re-rolling any event rolls, and place that minion, as well as 2 investigation, at 3 random locations. Wow. Well, examining the Scarecrow's minion chart, there are only 2 results on there for minions. Locust swarms on a 3, or 4 to 5 would be murders of crows. So murders of crows could be quite bad. We have to place these in 3 locations, and a part of their special ability is that whenever a crow is placed, you also place an extra one on each adjoining space, road space. So, okay, here's the first roll on the minion chart. Results of 1, that's an event. We can't have that, we'll re-roll. A 3, so that's going to be 3 locust swarms. That's what we'll be placing on the board. The first locust swarm is going to go to the north dock. We'll place a locust swarm with 2 investigation there. Next one is going to the inn. Well, that's going to be a battle because Captain Hawkins is there. We'll place that at the inn. And the third one is going to be going to the docks. And we will place one there with 2 investigations. So let's place those on the board, and then we'll resolve the out-of-sequence combat with Captain Hawkins at the inn. All right, Captain Hawkins is at the inn. The locusts appeared with 2 investigation, and we'll have to fight this out. Captain Hawkins, however, has a cunning of 3. We have to use cunning against these locust swarms. So each side will be rolling 3 dice, and we'll see what happens. Captain Hawkins does have his very valuable torch, though, that might help him. Here's the roll. Okay, we've got a cocked die. We'll have to re-roll that. And it looks like each side has done 1 hit for the time being. Captain Hawkins will employ his torch. So let's get that out. And his torch will force the locust swarm to re-roll a fight die, and then we have to roll to see if the torch is exhausted. Here's their re-roll. They rolled a 2, so no hits from the locust swarm. Captain Hawkins will do 1 hit on the swarm. Now we'll have to roll for the torch. And it's a 1, so he's lost the torch, unfortunately. That was quite valuable to him, and we'll go on to round 2. We've already done 1 hit now on the locust swarm. We need to get another 2 hits to defeat them. Okay, 3 dice each. Here is the roll. Captain Hawkins has done a hit, and the locust swarm has done none, so he will inflict another wound on the locust swarm, and we'll continue on with a 3rd round. Maybe he can take them out right now. Here is the roll. And he's failed. The locust swarm has done 2 hits to him, though, however. So he will be taking 2 wounds. I'm going to see if I can mitigate that in some fashion. Well, the only thing we could do is to use this spirited attack card for Captain Hawkins. That would get him an extra 2 fight dice. That would be his spirit in an attempt to try to defeat those things. It won't be, there's no way to mitigate the hits, though. I think I'll save the spirited attack, and we'll just have Captain Hawkins take the 2 wounds. He has a total of 4 health boxes, so 2 of them are used. And we'll continue on to another round. We need 1 more hit on the locusts. And he's done it. He's got the hit, but unfortunately, the locusts have also done 2 hits as well. And unless we can somehow mitigate that, it's going to KO Captain Hawkins. And the only event that we can play is this honorable gesture event. It says prevent any number of wounds that another hero is about to take. Gain 2 investigation for each wound prevented this way. So we're going to play that as though it were Heinrich Cartwright. He's going to move from the windmill to the inn, and he's going to intercede with an honorable gesture. It's going to get him 2 investigation for each wound that he'll be able to prevent. So he'll get 4 investigation, and Captain Hawkins will not take any wounds. That's a good trade-off. So Captain Hawkins has defeated the locust swarm. That's going to give him a 4 investigation reward. And that is great. And we'll move him up to a total of 7 investigation. So Captain Hawkins does have 2 wounds of his 4 health boxes filled. We'll have to get him some healing. Maybe he can get that at the monastery perhaps. That's going to bring the round to a close, and we'll move our first player marker to Captain Hawkins, and he'll continue on with his next turn. All right, Captain Hawkins has a 1 for movement, and I think we'll just have him move down the road towards the monastery. He's rolled a 1, so that will entitle him to an event card draw. And he draws another clandestine meeting. Play immediately. Choose a town elder and place that marker on the board in any empty space. We can encounter them, gaining investigation, and then we'd make a roll, and we could give another secret to that elder or a resolve. So we have to play this immediately, and we'll have to figure out who we want to select as the elder and where to place them. And I think we're going to select Dr. Manning, and we'll place it in this empty road space near the monastery. And once again, we'll keep that event card out on the board so we know what we have to do with that. And we will place that there. All right. Captain Hawkins is going to use his call to arms ability as an action. He can pay 2 investigation to place a militia in any space. And I think he'll pay the 2 investigation, and we'll place a militia token at the monastery. That's where he's going to end up traveling to at some point. And that'll help some other players as well. So we'll pay the 2 investigation, and that will end his turn. We'll move on to Heinrich Cartwright. All right, Heinrich has rolled a 3, so we'll have him move, I think, 2 spaces to the space with Dr. Manning, and we'll resolve this clandestine meeting. He's going to roll a d6 and gain that amount of investigation. If it's a roll as a 1, Dr. Manning's going to gain an extra secret, and if it's a 6, we'll add a resolve token to that elder. Okay, here's the roll. Roll's a 4, so Heinrich is going to gain 4 investigation. It moves him up to a total of 10, and then the elder will return, I believe, back to his normal position. And that's correct. So Dr. Manning will go back, and that resolves the clandestine meeting. And that's going to bring his turn to a close. We'll move on now to Brother Marcus. He's just outside of Shadowbrook. All right, Brother Marcus has a movement roll of 3. And we're in a space with crows, so we'll have to make that crows roll first. And we'll see if that's a problem for him. It's not, so he has 3 movement points. Brother Marcus has plenty of investigation, so I think he's going to move to the blacksmith and try to spend some of that. So he'll move 1, 2, 3 to the blacksmith. Now he's going to be crossing another space with the crow, so we'll have to roll for that crow. Rolls a 5, so we're good. So he reaches the blacksmith's office, and we'll start by drawing an event card. He draws the event Endurance. Play immediately. Play this card on any hero to give them an extra health box. Remains in play. All right. Well, currently we've got 4 health boxes for Heinrich Cartwright, 5 for Brother Marcus, 3 for Inspector Cook, and 4 for Captain Hawkins. So I think we will play that card, the Endurance card, on Inspector Cook, and that will help him with an extra health box. And now Brother Marcus will encounter the space with the store, and we'll see what he's going to purchase there. He has a total of 12 investigation. And he's going to purchase 3 items. He's going to purchase some healing herbs for 3, allows him to heal 2 wounds from a single hero in his space. He'll purchase an old map for 2, giving him +1 to honor and the ability to move to any space on the board. And he'll purchase the torch. So the total cost of that is going to be 9. And that will leave Brother Marcus with 3 investigation total. He'll use up all of his capacity with these 3 cards. He currently has an axe, but that axe is from the old wood, so we can keep 1 card from each of the corner locations plus 3 items from item locations. That'll complete his turn. We'll move on to Inspector Cook. All right, Inspector Cook has a 2 for movement. He gains +2 move for his upgrade, so he has 4 movement points. And I think he's going to take care of this clandestine meeting. He'll move 1 space and we'll resolve the clandestine meeting. We're going to roll a d6, and that's the number of investigation he's going to gain from the meeting. He's rolled a 6, and that is not only great for 6 investigation, but it's also going to give a resolve token to Lord Hanbrook, which is awesome. So we'll give Lord Hanbrook a resolve token, which prevents him from being killed, and that will resolve the clandestine meeting. Now, Inspector Cook has the detective ability. It says anytime a hero is collecting investigation, except from a fight, he can collect 1 extra from the same source, either from the board or the pool. So we're going to give him an extra 1 for that clandestine meeting. And that's going to bring his total now up to 9. 9 investigation. All right. Now he has this special ability on his upgrade. It says deduction. Once per turn as an action, he can spend an investigation to draw an event, and I think he will do that. We'll have him spend a investigation and we'll draw an event card for him. And he draws the card, Honorable Gesture. Give any hero or town elder +2 honor for the rest of the showdown turn or showdown fight round, or prevent a number of wounds to another hero that is about to take wounds that a hero is about to take. Gain 2 investigation for each prevented this way. All right, we'll keep that card. That's going to bring our player round to a close. We'll move on to the mystery phase, which will be resolved by Captain Hawkins. All right, at the start of the mystery phase, Brother Marcus is going to hold back the darkness, and he'll gain D3 investigation for free. So we'll get a D3 out and see how many he gains. He rolled a 3. That is awesome. That'll move him up to a total of 6 investigation. And those upgrades are very handy. It's expensive. You've got to pay 10 investigation, but they pay dividends for the rest of the game. So I would encourage you to always seek out those upgrades if possible. Next is the cooperative mystery phase roll. Here's the D100. It's 98. So we'll see what 98 has to say. 98 is Surge of Evil. Roll once on the minion chart and work out the result. If it is a minion or the villain attacks, draw a random location for placement. Okay, so we'll get out the minion chart and we'll make a D6 roll and see what the effect is. The result's a 4, and that is a Murder of Crows. So we'll be placing a Murder of Crows in the space indicated by a lair card, and if they're going in the abandoned keep, there's no one there. So let's switch to the abandoned keep and place a crow there, and then we have to place one in a adjacent space as well. So we'll place a Murder of Crows at the abandoned keep, and then because of their special ability, we have to place one on each adjoining road space. And we're able to do it because crows are circles and normal minions are squares, and they can coexist. Normally that wouldn't be able to happen. If we can't ever place a crow because there's another crow in that location, the shadow track will move down 1 for each. All right, now Captain Hawkins has to resolve a mystery card, and we'll see what we get. This one is Howling in the Night. Shuffle the discard pile back into the mystery deck, including this card. Move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness, and each hero will gain an investigation. It says, good Lord, that sounds close. All right, so we have to shuffle all of the mystery card discards back into the pile. Our shadow track is going to drop 1 from 12 down to 11, and everybody's going to gain an investigation. So let's take care of that. All right, we've ran our mystery cards through the card shuffler and given those a good shuffle. And all we have left now is to move our first player marker to Heinrich Cartwright, and we're ready to begin our next round. All right, Heinrich has a total of 11 investigation, and he's rolled a 4 for movement. So I think he's going to move to the relative safety of the monastery, and we'll have him encounter the monastery. Now we've got a section of militia there to help him if he has any trouble. So we'll begin by resolving an encounter at the monastery. And let's see what card he gets. This one is, a Crimson Hand Initiate. That has 3 fight dice, 2 health with a reward of 3. You must use honor instead of combat when fighting this minion. Well, Heinrich currently has an honor of 4. So that'll earn him 4 dice for the combat per round. And the Crimson Hand will get 3. Okay, let's see if there's any cards we can play. Well, I think he's going to play this Honorable Gesture card. Give any hero +2 honor for the rest of the turn or showdown fight round. So that'll earn him an extra 2 honor, which is what we're going to be using for this fight. So he'll be rolling a total of 6 fight dice to the Crimson Hand's 3. All right. So let's make the first fight round roll. And he's done pretty good. He's gotten 2 hits on the Crimson Hand, and that's enough to defeat them. Crimson Hand have done no hits. So he's going to earn a reward of 3 additional investigation tokens, giving him a total now of 14 of them. All right. Okay, now he's going to buy some monastery items. And I've decided to purchase a crossbow for Heinrich, +1 to combat, and if he rolls at least a 1/6, he does an extra hit. That'll cost 5. And we're also going to get the Sacred Chalice, +1 to spirit, +1 to honor, and he can cancel any event or mystery card with this card. After use, we'll roll a d6, and on a 1 or 2, we can remove the Sacred Chalice from the game. Okay, so we'll keep those 2 cards. That cost him 13, and he's full now. He's got a pistol, crossbow, and Sacred Chalice. Leaves him with 1 investigation. And we'll move on now to Brother Marcus. He's at the blacksmith. All right, Brother Marcus is up. He has a die roll of 3 for movement. And I think we'll have him move to the windmill. He currently does not have a windmill card, so we'll have him move there and encounter the windmill. And his encounter is Wicked Altar, Investigation, Occult. The candles are still burning, and the stench of death fills the air. Someone was just here, or maybe they still are. Make a cunning 5+ test and gain an investigation for every 5+ rolled. If any of the dice are rolled a 1, you are also attacked. Roll once on the villain's minion chart and work out the result. Okay, so he has to do a cunning 5+ test. Brother Marcus currently has a cunning of 2. So we will roll 2 dice and see if he can get 5s or greater. No 1s. He doesn't have any 1s, and he does have 1 success, so he'll earn an investigation. It moves him up to a total of 8. We're actually getting almost ready for our showdown. The only thing I have to do is get Heinrich Cartwright to get some additional investigation to pay the cost of that showdown card in the bog. That's currently a 2. Now, because of the Scarecrow's well-hidden ability, we'll have to pay double that cost, which will be 4. The exception is Heinrich Cartwright. He recovered the special item, the Lore of the Scarecrow, and he can ignore the effects of well-hidden, so Heinrich only needs 1 additional investigation token to be able to join the showdown. All right, Inspector Cook has rolled a 1 for movement. And I think we'll have him move into the barracks, and he'll draw 1 event for his die roll of 1, and he gains Accusation card. Play as an action to immediately gain 3 investigation for each other hero in your space. Okay. Well, he's moved into the barracks, and that says we have to draw a village encounter card. So we will do that. Our village, Tidewater Village encounter says brigands. Village encounter, minion men. 4 fight dice, 2 wounds. If not defeated in the first fight round, brigands throw you out of town and disappear, ending the fight. Move to the nearest road space or to the icy waters if currently at the docks. If defeated, gain 3 investigation. All right, so we'll have to make this first fight round a good one in order to have a chance at defeating them. Otherwise, we're going to get thrown out of town. All right, Inspector Cook has a total of 3 combat, 2 for his base plus 1 for his strength of battle. And of course, the brigands will have 4. So here's the one and only fight round. See if we can defeat these things. And he's done it. He has done it. He's got 2 6s. That's enough to take them out, but unfortunately, they have done 3 hits to him as well. So let's see if we can mitigate those hits. And no, I can't mitigate them. So we have defeated the brigands, earning us 3 investigations. So that's good. But we're going to take 3 wounds, and that's 3 of our 4 health boxes. All right. So I think before he ends his turn, he's going to do a heal action, and we're going to heal some of those wounds. He's going to heal 2 of his 3 wounds. That'll cost him a total of 6 investigation, moving him down to 6. Captain Hawkins is up next. He's rolled a 5 for movement, and I think he'll move to the inn. And we will go there. We'll take the 2 investigation that is there. And then it says here, before encountering, we can heal a wound, and he will do that. He has 2 wounds. We'll heal one of those for free at the inn. And at the inn, he draws the card Cutlass, plus 1 to combat. When making a spirit, cunning, or honor test, you may re-roll 1 of your dice. If the re-roll is a 1, you must discard the Cutlass. Okay, that's a good card. And that's going to finish our player rounds. We'll move on to the mystery phase. We'll begin with Brother Marcus's special ability, Hold Back the Darkness, gaining D3 investigation. So we'll get a D3 out, and he earns 2 investigation. It will move him up to a total of 10. We have definitely no problems with investigation. And now Heinrich Cartwright will resolve a cooperative mystery phase roll. Here's the D100 roll. And he's rolled a 56, so let's see what that is. 56 is Darkness Falls. The shadow track immediately moves D3 steps closer to darkness. The heroes may collectively take 5 wounds, divided as they see fit, to prevent this. No hero may take more wounds than they have health boxes. All right, let's roll a D3 and see how many we're talking about. And we can decide if we want to mitigate this. Results a 2. And I think we'll just take the 2 movements on the shadow track. That'll move us from 11 down to 9. And now we have to resolve a mystery card. Mystery card is revealed to be Haunted Ground. Mystery Haunting. Draw a random location and place a haunted marker there. Move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness. All right. So we'll be playing a haunted marker at Smuggler's Cove. All right, so we will do that. And the shadow track is going to drop 1, moving it down to 8, giving the Scarecrow a +1 combat token, which is not good. And that's going to bring the round to a close. We'll move our first player marker to Brother Marcus, and we'll continue on with the playthrough. All right, Brother Marcus has a total of 10 investigations, so we've got no problem about having enough investigation for him to commence the showdown. We'll have him roll for movement. He rolls a 4, and I'm trying to think of what the best thing we can do for him. We're getting close to initiating that. I guess we'll have him move to the church. 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll move to the church, and he will encounter the space. That will allow him to draw an event card. And he draws the event. Bribery. Play at any time except during a fight round to immediately choose a militia marker in play and move it to any other space on the board. Or as an action, pay 5 investigation to steal 1 ally from another hero. Okay, we'll put that into the collection of event cards. And now he's going to attempt to train spirit. We'll pay the 2 investigation, and he's going to make an honor roll. If he can get a 5 or better, he will be able to boost his spirit. Okay, Brother Marcus currently has an honor level of 4. 1 for the map and 3 for his basic honor. So we'll roll 4 dice. Any 5s will give him +1 spirit. He's done it. He's got a 6. We'll give him a boost to his spirit. That moves his spirit up to a total of 6 right now. And that's going to be very powerful when you combine that with his faithful ability in the showdown. Next, we'll move on to Inspector Cook. Inspector Cook has 6 investigation, and he's carrying 1 wound. So we'll have him roll for movement, and he's going to get a +2 to move because of his upgrade. He's rolled a 5, so that gives him 7 movement points, and I think he's going to go to the beach. We'll have him move 2 spaces to the beach, and he'll have to draw a village encounter, but he's hopefully going to use the Widow's Cottage and heal the wound that he has. All right, so we've given our Tidewater Village Encounter deck a shuffle, and we will see what he comes up with. And he has 2 if by sea. Roll once in the villain's minion chart, re-rolling event results, and place that minion at the icy waters. That minion then moves ashore. Roll randomly to determine which space it moves to. All right, so we have to make a roll on the minion chart. Minion results will range between 3 to 5. Okay, here is the roll. Rolls a 4, so that is going to be a murder of crows. All right, we've placed a murder of crows at the icy waters and then 1 on each of the adjacent spaces. That means that a crow appeared at the beach where Inspector Cook is. We'll have to roll a die there and see if he's affected by the crows. It's a 4, he's not. Now, per this 2 by sea card, we have to make a roll and determine where the crows will come ashore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The result is a 6, and it's going to come ashore at the lighthouse. And there's already a crow there. So instead of being able to do that, we'll have to see what happens. I believe the shadow track is going to drop. Yeah, so that crow is going to end up staying at the icy waters, and we'll drop our shadow track from 8 down to 7. We're in the red area, and that will complete that town village encounter. Now he's going to encounter the space, and he'll use the Widow's Cottage to heal a wound, and that will completely heal Inspector Cook. And that's going to bring his turn to a close. So we have an awful lot of these crows markers on the board. We're going to have to bring this to a showdown very quickly. If we have to place any crows, I don't have any left in the supply at this point, so that'll be moving that shadow track down. We'll move on to Captain Hawkins. He's at the inn. All right, Captain Hawkins has rolled a 4. So we'll have him move 4, 1, 2, 3 into the monastery. He'll meet up with Heinrich Cartwright, and then he's going to encounter the space. And I think he's going to, before he encounters the space, he's going to play this accusation card. Play as an action to immediately gain 3 investigation for each other hero in your space. So he'll gain 3 for Heinrich Cartwright being in that space. We'll give him 3 investigation. That'll move him up to a total of 9. I think as another action before he encounters the monastery, he's going to use his call to arms ability. I'm going to have him spend 2 investigation and place a militia token on the board. And we're going to place that militia at the bog, which is where our showdown is going to be occurring. It's going to pay good dividends for us. Now he's going to encounter the monastery. Draw a card, see what it is, and it is Book of Life. At the start of each of your turns or showdown fight rounds, you may heal a wound. Discard to fully heal, except during a fight round. That is great. The Book of Life goes to Captain Hawkins. Outstanding. That will end his turn, and I think the only thing left for Captain Hawkins would be to use a heal. And it says here, at the start of each of your turns, you can heal a wound. Maybe we don't need to. He's got that Book of Life, so I'll just leave the wound on him, and that will complete his turn. We'll move on to Heinrich Cartwright. All right, Heinrich Cartwright is at the monastery. He is going to linger. I want him to stay there to be able to play a certain card and to gain enough investigation. So we'll have to make a lingering roll for Heinrich Cartwright. If he rolls a 1, he's going to have to make a roll on the minion chart. So we're taking a little bit of a risk. Here's the roll. He rolled a 4, so he's okay. He's going to remain in the space, and we'll begin by having him use another accusation card, giving him 3 investigation. And that's what I wanted to do, is to make sure that we had the proper number of investigation so we can start a showdown for each of the players whenever we want to. So he has a total of 4 investigation, and now he's going to encounter the space at the monastery. And we'll see what that is. And he draws the Host. 4 fight dice, 2 wounds. You may not escape. If KO'd by the host, you are automatically become possessed. If defeated, gain 4 investigation. All right, so we're going to have combat rounds between Heinrich Cartwright and the host. All right, Heinrich Cartwright has a total combat level of 5. The host will be rolling 4. And we'll see what happens. We need to get 2 hits on the host. Okay, here is the roll. And he has done a total of 2 hits on the host, so we've killed him. The host has done no hits, so we're going to gain 4 investigation for defeating the host. That is outstanding. And that gives him a total of 8 investigation. He's not going to purchase anything, I don't think. He's already kind of maxed out with his totals. He can afford to have... No, he can't. He's got 3 items from monastery items or town items, so he's full. And that's going to bring his turn to a close. We'll move on to Brother Marcus. And I think we're going to go to a showdown. We've got the proper number of investigation tokens. Brother Marcus is going to, in lieu of moving, use his old map, allowing him to move wherever he wants to. He's going to move to the bog. And once he's at the bog, he's going to initiate the showdown. And obviously before he initiates the showdown, he'll pick up the investigation token that's there. Now each other hero can invite themselves to the showdown. Now we have to pay double the cost, with the exception of Heinrich Cartwright, because Heinrich has that special item, the lore of the Scarecrow. So he doesn't have to follow the instructions for well hidden. So in this case, Brother Marcus will have to pay a total of 4 investigation. We'll have him do that. Then we'll have Heinrich Cartwright move to the location. And since he has that special ability, that will only cost him 2. And then we'll have Captain Hawkins travel there. That'll cost him a total of 4, leaving him with 3 investigation. And finally, Inspector Cook, he pays 4 investigation and moves to the bog, and we're ready to undertake our showdown against the Scarecrow. So the Scarecrow appears at the bog. We found his lair. Now he has currently 1 active mystery card, and that's the full moon card. But we might be able to get rid of that with Brother Marcus's special abilities. We'll begin the showdown by inviting our hunting party members. I'm going to be inviting Magistrate Croft and Lord Hanbrook. Now we know that Magistrate Croft has this secret, a little secret. Manic has no effect, so we're good with him. But we don't know the secret of Lord Hanbrook, and we'll have to reveal that now. It's revealed to be inner strength. A fire burns in the heart of this town elder. With a warrior's spirit and a hero's courage, they are a natural leader and a powerful ally. During the showdown, the hero gains +2 fight dice as well as the town elder's normal special ability. That is awesome. So we're going to get ready for our showdown fight rounds. At the start of the showdown fight round, all of the characters can interchange items if they choose. All right, we're going to have to assign now our militia and our town elders to one of our heroes. I'm going to assign Lord Hanbrook to Brother Marcus. We're going to assign the militia to Captain Hawkins, which will make sense. And we're going to assign Lord Hanbrook. I'm sorry, this should have been Lord Hanbrook here. We're going to assign Magistrate Croft, and we'll give him to, let's see here. I guess Inspector Cook. So that's how we'll have it arranged. Now we're still at the start of the fight, and Brother Marcus is going to use his Strength of Spirit ability. He's going to pay 2 investigation, and he's going to attempt to use his ability to cancel a mystery card, and we're going to have it attempt to cancel the full moon card. So he's going to roll a d6, and on a 4 or better, the card will be canceled. And here's the roll. He's rolled a 5, so we're able to cancel this full moon card, giving the Scarecrow an extra combat point. So that's great. All right, so the Scarecrow now is going to have the following strengths. This is taking place in stage 4, so he's going to have +3 combat and +3 health. So that will put his health at 22, 4, 5, 6, 7. 27 health, and his combat will be at 5, 8, 9. So he's got 9 health. I'm sorry, 9 combat. So it's going to be pretty tough. Let's see if we can do it. Now, in the event that I don't complete this, I'm probably going to call the game. Unless something unusual happens. You can technically escape from a showdown and reconvene, but usually by that time you're so drained that you won't have enough time to do so. But we'll see what happens. We're going to begin the round with Brother Marcus. Brother Marcus is going to use his Faithful ability, and he can use Spirit instead of combat in a fight. He currently has a total of 6 Spirit. Now, in addition to Brother Marcus, he's also going to get support from Lord Hanbrook. Now, Lord Hanbrook has this inner strength, and that's going to give +2 fight dice plus his normal abilities. His normal ability is gain 1 fight dice. In a showdown, Lord Hanbrook must be wounded twice to be killed. And Lord Hanbrook currently has 1 resolve token on him. So we'll be getting an extra 2 dice. All right, if we center the camera, we're actually going to be rolling an extra 3 dice because Lord Hanbrook's normal ability is +1 to fight dice, and he'll get the 2 for his inner strength. So we're rolling 9 dice. I'll do these separately. This will be Brother Marcus's and Lord Hanbrook's roll, and then we will roll for the Scarecrow. So here's our roll. We need 5s and 6s. And we've done pretty good. We've got a total of 3 hits. 3 hits. So we'll place 3 hits on the Scarecrow. His current health is 20 plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 27 with his wound tokens that he has. So he's taken 3 now. And let's see if there's anything we can do here to... Be nice if we had the ability to re-roll some of those misses, but we really don't. The only thing I do have that he'd be able to use, Brother Marcus has a torch, and we know that the Scarecrow has a problem with flammable items. We could gain an extra 5 hit dice if we discard this, but this is pretty valuable in forcing the enemies to re-roll fight dice, and so I think we'll keep that for right now. So we've done 3 hits to him. All right, now the Scarecrow is going to strike at Brother Marcus. Now he's going to get a total of 9 dice, and he has to designate one of those dice against a Town Elder. So we're going to substitute one of the red dice with a black die, and that one's going to be targeting the Town Elder. Okay, so he'll get 9 dice total, of which 8 are going to be red. And here's the Scarecrow's attack on Brother Marcus. And he did pretty good. There's no hit on the Elder, but he's done a total of 4 hits on Brother Marcus. So that is going to, won't KO him, but it's going to be in pretty bad shape. So I think what he'll do is he'll employ his torch to try to force a reroll on one of those hits, and we'll see if we can at least maybe minimize the damage. Right now there's a total of 3 hits on the Scarecrow. We'll have him force a reroll with this. And that's a miss. So we've taken a total of 3 hits to Brother Marcus, and we'll mark him with 3 hits. And that will use up 3 of his 5 health boxes. Now he does have these healing herbs. Discard at any time except during a fight round. So we'll use this when we're in between fight rounds to heal some of that damage. All right, so far we've only managed 3 hits on the Scarecrow. We'll move on now to Inspector Cook. Inspector Cook is being supported by Magistrate Croft. Magistrate Croft's special ability is gain +2 fight dice versus any beast, man, or construct, and that's the case here. So we will have Inspector Cook make his attack. His combat is a total of 3 only. So he's going to be gaining 2 for Magistrate Croft, giving us a total of 5. And let's see if there's anything else we can do. I think we'll use a spirited attack, play on any hero, including yourself, to allow them to add their spirit. Well, unfortunately, his spirit's only a 1, so that won't be very effective. I think we'll save that card for someone else. And that's about all we can really do. So I'll have him launch his attack with Magistrate Croft. It's a total of 5 dice only. Here's the roll. And he's managed 2 hits. So that's pretty good. We'll mark the Scarecrow now up to a total of 5 hits. He has 27 available to him. All right, now the Scarecrow is going to attack. Once again, he'll be rolling a total of 9 dice, of which 1 is going to be targeting Magistrate Croft. All right, so we've got 8 red dice and 1 black die. Here's his attack. All right, no hit on Croft, but 3 hits total on Inspector Cook. That leaves him with only 1 health box remaining. All right, so we'll mark him with 3 wounds, and that will finish that round. We'll move on to Captain Hawkins. All right, Captain Hawkins is going to start out with the Book of Life. At the start of each of your turns or showdown fight rounds, you can heal a wound. And that's what he'll do. So he'll heal the wound that he has. And now he's going to launch his attack on the Scarecrow. He currently has a combat of 3 plus 1 for his cutlass, plus 2 for the militia that is there. I'm sorry, +1 for the militia, and then he gets another bonus for his upgrade, and that's this battlefield command. Gain an additional +2 fight dice while in a space with the militia. So we'll do that. The militia also has a health box as well. So let's add up the total for Captain Hawkins. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He'll be rolling 7 dice for the attack. All right, let's get out 7 dice and see if we can maybe defeat this crazy Scarecrow. All right, 7 dice. Okay, here is his attack. I hope we get lucky. And we've done a total of 2 hits. 2 hits, and I think he's going to use this spirited attack that will allow him to roll an extra 2 fight dice. That's his spirit. So we'll play that event, and that will allow him to roll 2 additional dice here. See if we can get some additional hits. Here we go. And no, he's got 2 4s. So we've done 2 wounds to the Scarecrow, and we'll mark him at 7. We need 20 more wounds to kill this thing. All right, now the wrath of the Scarecrow is coming, and he will be rolling a total of 9 red dice. And I think he has to apply one to the militia. I'm going to check that, though. No, he does not. That rule is only where he must spend one of the dice to target an elder. The militia aren't an elder, so he'll be rolling 9 red dice for his counterattack. And here is the roll. We've got 1 cocked die, and he has a total of 2 hits. So we'll apply the 2 hits to Captain Hawkins. All right, he's got space for that. 2 wounds. All right, and now we finish up with Heinrich Cartwright. Heinrich Cartwright has a combat level of 2. He gains 1 for his crossbow, 1 for his pistol, and 1 for his upgrade. So 2, 3, 4, 5 dice. The crossbow is going to do an extra damage if any 6s rolled, so that's good. All right, we're going to have his 5 hit dice roll and see what we get. 6s would be good. Doesn't have 6s, but he has 2 5s, so that's 2 hits. And I think what he'll do is he's going to use the spirited attack, and he'll be able to add his spirit to the attack. His spirit is 4, 5, 6, 7, whether you believe that or not. So he'd be able to roll 7 dice in addition. Okay, here's his extra 7 dice. And he's got 2 additional hits, of which one of them is a 6. So we'll do another hit for that. So that's a total of 5 hits on the Scarecrow, and we'll mark that accordingly. That brings the Scarecrow's wound damage up to 12. We have to get to 27. And now the Scarecrow will fire back with his 9 dice. 9 dice. Okay. Here's his 9 dice attack on Heinrich Cartwright. And we got 1 cocked die. And the Scarecrow has done 2 wounds to him. All right, so we'll mark him with 2 wounds. He has the space that'll use up 2 of his available 4 wound boxes. And that's going to complete the first round. Now we can adjust equipment, and we can use our event cards if we choose. Okay, we're going to begin with Brother Marcus. He's going to use his healing herbs to heal 2 wounds from himself. So we'll remove those 2 wounds. He has 1 wound out of a total of 5 health boxes. Next, we're going to have Captain Hawkins use his Book of Life, which will allow him to heal a wound during the start of the showdown fight round. So he'll do that, moving him down to 1 wound out of a total of 3 health boxes. Now, I don't know the answer to this. We have this card, Bribery. Play at any time except during a fight round. To immediately choose a militia marker in play and move it to any other space on the board. Well, we already have the militia marker out here in the bog, but it appears that you'd be able to move a militia token and then use that token to support one of the other heroes. And I don't know if you can have two militia tokens in the same spot. I'm going to check that. Well, I can't find it in the rules, but I seem to remember reading somewhere that you can only have one militia in a space. So what we'll do is we'll save that card for in the event that the militia unit is taken as a casualty. Then we could use the bribery card and move in another militia, because if the thing is wounded, it is removed from the board. Okay, we're going to adjust some weapons now maybe and see what's happening. I think we'll keep the weapons layout as we have it, and we'll start a new round with Brother Marcus. Brother Marcus, once again, will be using, that's one thing we will do. We'll shift the axe from Brother Marcus, and we'll give that to Captain Hawkins. That'll improve his combat level a little bit. I think that's a good play. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So now, Brother Marcus will be using his spirit. He's got 4, 5, 6 spirit. He gains 2 fight dice for Lord Hanbrook plus his regular 1. So that's great. In fact, I'm going to make one more change. Heinrich Cartwright, before we start, is going to give the silver chalice to Brother Marcus. That'll give him another spirit. So his total is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dice. We get 10 dice for the roll. All right, 10 blue dice. Here is our roll. And we've got 1 cocked die. And we've done a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds to the Scarecrow. That is awesome. We'll give him 6 wounds. And that's going to move him up to a total of 15, 16, 17, 18 out of 27. I'm going to recheck his total again. He has a health of 5 times 4 is 20. He's got 2 plus 2 wound boxes. That's 24. And then he's going to gain plus 3 health for stage 4. So it's 27. And we've dealt a total of 18 wounds to the Scarecrow. That is awesome. And I think before Brother Marcus ends his attack, he's going to use his torch. And that torch is a fire item, and that's going to give him plus 5 to his attack. So we're going to discard the torch and try to roll another 5 dice to secure some even more hits on this Scarecrow. I can just see him taking the torch and setting that Scarecrow on fire. Here's the roll. And he's done no hits, unfortunately. That is terrible. Okay, so Brother Marcus's turn is done. Now the Scarecrow will attack. 1 dice will be applied to Lord Hanbrook, and the other 8 will be against Brother Marcus. Here's the roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're good. Here it is. Oh boy. Well, we've got a hit on Lord Hanbrook and 1, 2, 3, 4 hits against Brother Marcus. Okay. The hit against Lord Hanbrook can be absorbed with the resolve token, so that's fine. No problems there. But the 4 hits against Brother Marcus are going to KO him unless there's something that we can do to stop that. No, I can't stop it, so Brother Marcus is going to be KO'd, and we'll have to apply Lord Hanbrook to another character during the next start of the fight round. So that's what's happened. We'll move on to Inspector Cook. Inspector Cook is going to use his deduction ability from his upgrade, and that says that he can spend 1 investigation per showdown fight round to gain an event, and he'll do that. He'll pay 1 investigation, we'll draw an event card, maybe it's something good for us. And this is Hold Back the Darkness. Place a resolve token on any town elder. That is awesome. So we will do that. And we'll use that right now to place the resolve token on, I think, Lord Hanbrook. That might be the best. No, we'll do it on Magistrate Croft. We'll place it on him. All right, that was good. So now Inspector Cook will get his dice pool together. He has combat of 2, 3, and he gains +2 fight dice for Magistrate Croft, which is supporting him. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5 dice. So he'll be rolling 5 dice for the combat. We still need a lot of hits on the Scarecrow, but it's possible. I wish we wouldn't have lost Brother Marcus. Okay, so we're going to roll 5 dice. I hope we can get some hits here. All right. He's got 3 hits. That is awesome. All right, 3 hits. We'll do 3 additional damage, moving us up from 15, 16, 17, 18, up to 21. So we'll get out 21 wounds on the Scarecrow. We only need 6 wounds to kill him. All right, now the Scarecrow is going to fire back, and he is going to target Magistrate Croft with 1 dice. All right, so 8 red dice, 1 black, and here's the attack on Inspector Cook. And he's done a wound to Magistrate Croft. We're going to use his resolve token. I'm glad I placed it there. But unfortunately, there is enough wounds here, 1, 2, 3, 4, to take out Inspector Cook. I won't be able to do anything about that. Inspector Cook is going to fall. And we've got 2 unplaced elders right now. We'll move on now to Captain Hawkins. All right, Captain Hawkins. He has a combat level of 3, 4, 5, 6 with the militia. He gains +2 when he's in command of a militia unit in the combat. So that's pretty good. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. 8 dice. 8 dice. And if he can get a 6 with the cutlass, no. I'm going to check that more carefully. No, he doesn't get anything else. It's going to be just these dice, and we'll see if we need 6 hits. That's all we need to kill this thing. Here's the roll. And we've got 1 cocked die. We've got a total of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. We've done it. We've got 6 hits on the Scarecrow. It's absolutely awesome. We'll mark him with 6 more wounds. That moves it up to 27. And we've defeated the Scarecrow. Now the Scarecrow's still going to get to fire back at Captain Hawkins, but we've beat him. I'll do the attack just to see what the status of Captain Hawkins will be. But it's pretty good. So he's going to roll 9 dice against Captain Hawkins for his final last-ditch strike against Captain Hawkins. Here's the roll. And he has done 3 hits. 3 hits to Captain Hawkins is going to KO him. He's KO'd. Wait. 3 hits. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's still going to KO him. So that will not only take him out, the militia would be removed, but we've won. We've got the 27 hits that we need against the Scarecrow, and the last man standing is Heinrich Cartwright, and we've won the game. So finally, I have a victory in A Touch of Evil. Long time coming, and I'm very happy right now. The Scarecrow was a very formidable opponent. What he didn't have was any allies, which that made a big difference. If the villain has allies, villain allies, that makes it really tough. You have to assign dice to try to go after those villains to try to take them out. And it makes it very tough. But in this case, we were able to do it. We've got 27 hits on him, and we've won the game. So thank you so much for joining me at the Solo Gamers Club, and I hope you enjoyed this playthrough of A Touch of Evil, the supernatural game, versus the Scarecrow. I look forward to seeing you again on the channel in the near future, and in the meantime, this is Keith from the Solo Gamers Club signing off and wishing everyone a pleasant evening and happy gaming. Good night.